Hey everyone, welcome to the Work VC podcast. Today with Amit, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into what Curatype is, and specifically talking about what is person protocol, which is sort of the center of what we're doing at Curatype and how it addresses a lot of uh, content creator and curator issues. So let's start with what we are offering at Curatype. What is person protocol, to be very precise, and how it relates to shop type later.
Right. So, Curatype is, as you can see, and what we spoke last time, it helps you launch these creator bots, right? These bots that produce content of a variety of type of content, right? You can have long form articles, you can have short form social media posts, you can have audio, video, movies, all types of stuff, right? Games you could produce. But this is eventually going to do all of that. Right now, it starts with like blogging and news reporting and things like that. It's connected. These agents are connected to the internet. They know what's going on, right? And they can listen for certain topics, and you can, tell them to, this is what I want you to talk about. And, they'll have a personality as well. They have a history, they're people. So what is a person, right? If I were to ask you, what is a person? Many answers can come there, right? But on the business world, we just mean somebody that you know, right, as a person, and that you interact and do business with. And if you're going to do monetary transactions, you want to make sure there's no fraud. So you need to know who they are, right? Know your customer, know your, whatever. And in this case, know the people you work with, right? So the people you work with, whether that's an individual or an organization, is the entity for you that you're dealing with, right? So from the perspective of relationship building, you can think of the other side of it as the person. And now, if you want to be on the other side and get everybody to engage with you, you have to be a really valuable person.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you become a very valuable person is by providing lots of value.
Yeah.
Right? And on the internet, that value, as we know, is, it comes from content that creates a community that then drives action, which can then monetize that action.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what these are then. These are programmatic people that anyone can launch. Like you launch a drone and fly the drone. You can launch this avatar and drive the avatar, like in the movie Avatar, except in this case, it's like on the internet, right? And it's as multimodal as you like it to be.
And it's customizable as well. Like you can train it, you can put inputs to whatever you want it to take the personality of. So taking that example, I saw, or we have your personality on Curatype. So you can interact and people can ask questions. So even like if somebody goes and asks, for example, this question, what is person protocol? So the bot answers in a way that you would answer.
Yeah, that's the idea, right? Like I've created a bot in this case where it reflects really me and my knowledge and whatever it is. And down the line, it's going to have the capability to connect to, if I authorize this bot, it can connect to my authorized services on the internet, right?
Okay.
So for example, if I give it the permissions to see how ShopType is doing with the data we have already, it can actually say, or if you connect it to your network and ask it, hey, what should I do now to grow my network? It can precisely tell you based on your network activity and everything it can understand from what it has in there, like the intergraph, right? And it can actually tell you what should happen and who to connect to. Hey, talk to Kritika, do a show, right? Like it's literally, can I make and if it had, calendar access, it can, do that for you. So the point is, you see, it's not about Siri doing it or about Alexa doing it or about, which bot will do it. It isn't that, it's a commodity, right? Bots are commodities. So you have to go the level above bots and really come back to value.
Yes, that's what, because on the internet we have bots. Of course, there are bots, but majority of them are generalized. They don't, they're not very specific to the, maybe very specific to the problem statement, but not in terms of personality, not in terms of persona. It's all generalized, which is like you can get access or you can do things anywhere and everywhere. But with this, this, as you mentioned, one more extra level or one more extra layer of personalization or customization that comes in, and people can really train it to be themselves or whatever personality they want the bot to take.
Right, exactly. You can grow these, armies of, online AI employees in a way, right? That are working or really AI partners, they're full on people. Like you literally partner with them. Like, for example, we have a few that are now venture partners with us, right? We've given them, see, a person protocol implies they have an incorporated presence in the United States. So they're from the perspective of the United States government and the world, these are people. In fact, they have more power than normal people because they can spend unlimited amounts of money on campaign finance, for example. It's ridiculous what this means, right? To people. And so now you can, if you want to launch these things, and I say, look, it's $500 or $1,000, I'll throw in incorporation in the United States. I'll throw in the bank account connection portfolio where you can now create value with others using the venture protocol that, these bots are, I mean, there's no, how do you know it's a person real or not real? I mean, what, you know what I mean? Like on the internet, nobody knows who you are.
Yeah,
right? Like
that's
a
true.
fact,
That's true.
right? And so that fact combined with the fact that a company incorporated in the United States has person status, right? And has all these powers and liability coverage and tax benefits and 1,000 other things for like a $500, $1,000, you can become a complete end-to-end tax-saving entity on the internet.
Yeah.
Sitting in India, for example, right? And then repatriating the dollars. These things are automated, semi-automated bots. They're working for you, doing things. You train them to do what you're doing or what you want them to do, and they'll just, do that.
Wow, that's like an amazing value if you understand or you go a little bit deeper. It's not just bots, it's like much, much, much more than bots. It's like, as you mentioned, like huge value that is behind them. Now, how difficult or easy it is to train these bots? If you have done for yourself, and we have a few more.
Extremely simple. I just use my mouse to click things and, that's it, right? So people are building tools that make it a commodity to launch intelligence now as a service, right? We're working with loads of companies and startups that are building these great products, and we're essentially weaving those into our infrastructure, right? Because now it's not about somebody coming up with a better XYZ feature. If you're not interconnected to the rest of your enterprise, you cannot unlock its value properly. Right?
Yes.
It's as simple as that. So a person, if you're only a person if you can do the things a person can do, right? If you can't do what a person can do, then how are you a person, right? So you have to be able to do things like log into things and like take actions, right? So you see the fear from AI people. There are two types of people, right? Today, the doomers, the people who are crazily scared about everything. Which, by the way, I have a thread of concern about. Obviously untamed and uncontrollable AI, right? That's always something we don't know about. It's an unknown. So you got to acknowledge the unknown, right? So I'm not overly concerned, but it is an unknown. But a lot of people, this effective altruism thing, this whole OpenAI thing that just went down, right? I don't want to get into the OpenAI thing that, drama is drama, right? But the effective altruism people who are, all about this concern about AI and this whole thing, which, by the way, like I said, we're building for people, right? How do you create 100 million jobs and billion jobs? I'm asking the opposite question of how do I do everything with AI? I don't need people. No, we're asking the opposite question, right? We're saying, how can I empower 100 million people with new forms of work and new forms of value creation, right? Using all the technology. So the point I'm making is we are talking about not either, so the other camp is effective accelerationism, right? Which is this notion that everybody like Elon Musk and everyone is behind with, not Elon Musk, but like Mark Andreessen, these crazy techno-capitalist. And it's not crazy. I think we are part of that too, right? So yes to that, and yes to this too. I mean, you have to have a normal human-centric approach to innovation, right? This is not some, you don't have to think, like, this is not a repudiation of, it's bad, right? It doesn't matter what happened with drama. The fact is human beings are relevant.
Yes.
Right? So we don't get confused by that. So I'm basically talking now, and I will talk a lot more about what I'm bringing to the table. It's called effective humanism, right? It's a bridge that takes techno capital but it leverages it for self-actualization. And self-actualization or artificial general intelligence, even if you get there, and you can never get to artificial general intelligence, and we can discuss why that is if you want, because we've already reached it and we're already past the singularity. You see, we've already discussed this. So there is no need to reach it. It's over. It's already done. So we're already in the post-singular universe. So now if you're in the post-singular universe, what exactly should be happening and how should one be thinking about things? You see, we have to think totally differently in a post-singularity. Now, if you are already in a post-singularity, which you are, because if there was a singularity, then time has already collapsed, then you are already in the situation. So we have to leverage the tools that reflect that post-singularity, which means we align ourselves with the intelligence of the system. Because whatever the system is, it's running because of some intelligence. Why you go after artificial intelligence? Align yourself with the actual intelligence that's running the system. You can never find out what it is, and you can never reach it, but it's already there. The very evidence of it is the existence of whatever we're dealing with. And so if you look at the new type of AI, we're talking about not a bunch of things, lots of words, but effective altruism, effective accessibility. No, let's talk about effective humanism. How do we build better things for people, right? Number one, how do we get everybody into this network? Because people need things, and we have to take care of people. Bits and bytes don't need taken care of, right? So we got to take care of people, and then we just got to build better AI. Not generative AI is cool; it's creative, right? It's combination of databases, right? But the newness of things doesn't come from the past. So we bring people, which is newness. Humans are new, right? Because right, every day is new.
New input, new new input, new things on daily basis.
So we bring that together, and then we create this new type of AI, which I've not nearly new type of AI. It's really just a very intuitive form of AI, not even AI. It's just intelligence, which is active inference in this whole world of free energy principle that recently I came across, and I'm like, wait, we've already built all these things that people are describing in theory. Anyway, we can discuss all of this stuff some other time, which it's the notion of what is open tangle, for example. As you know, one of the base layers on top of intergraph is open tangle. Turns out it's basically a Markov blanket. And what is a Markov blanket, and what is free energy principle, and what is active inference, and what is that type of AI model, we can discuss. And that's where we're headed. We're headed towards a model of agent-based, active inference-driven, autonomous actions. But then it ties back to human beings. It's absurd to say an AI will kill humanity. Hello, it's authorized by a human, right? So it's like saying the gun will kill everybody. It's like, no, somebody's shooting the gun. Even if it's autonomous, somebody pressed go, right? So you know what I mean? So it's not complicated. It's like a corporation doesn't actually exist. It's just an idea, right? Ultimately, it's people, right? So as much as we can say corporation is people, and we can use this constructs that the society has created for the benefit of everyone now, not just the people who understand what a corporation is, but everything is like that. Everything is like that. So if you utterly democratize everything, then we can talk about in a post-singularity, it is already democratized, right? So why don't we accept the fact that it's in a post-singular universe? Right? If we're all talking about, one day we're going to get singularity, isn't it obvious that we're already, past it? Like the chances of not being past it, if it were true, is like almost zero, right? Like it's astronomically, laughably small, like non-existent. The one reality versus everything else. You know what I mean? So anyway, point is that we are already in a digital universe, and everything is already digital, and everything is already connected, and everything it's visibly and evidently so, right? So why not just align yourself with that?
That makes a lot of sense, and we'll in our next a few conversations we'll talk about the other principles and where we are headed, what's our driving strategy, or how we're envisioning this, and we'll talk a lot about that in detail as well, so that everybody has a better understanding of where it is going and how it can be valuable for whoever is looking at it or whoever is using it. It's not about replacing something, or it's not about it's an aid. And it's a very effective aid.
Correct. Absolutely.